Okay, well, going by doesn't exactly tell me. It's been about an hour, a day since I last really looked at this or thought about it. The next thing I'm actually going to do is none of these things. It's going to be the frame. My mouse wheel, I took my mouse apart and cleaned it, and now I can scroll up and down, but it is still playing up. If I tap the control key at any time, this window will zoom out, because holding control and moving the mouse wheel a tiny bit causes it to zoom. And apparently my mouse wheel is always spinning. Not enough to scroll a window, but enough to zoom it. Mystery. But anyway, I am going to get a new mouse. Unfortunately, it's not that easy just to pick one up because all the shops are closed. Sort of closed. Anyway, how long can I go on ignoring our render? So, the frame is a thing I really don't want to think about because it's very boring, but it is also not really practical as it stands. So what I actually want to do is first off draw it differently, and secondly, what do I want to do? Secondly, I want to change the way the corner sensors work, and I'm going to do it in a I'm not exactly sure. I suppose I'll just draw little squares. I'm going to draw it as a frame, and I'm going to draw it as a frame sort of in two parts. One is going to be a transparent dark frame. I'm not sure about the width of the frame. I think it might be well, I don't know. I might not scale the width of the frame. That's an interesting question. I think maybe I won't. Let me see how I figure the frame just now. That is in work zone, and it is in finish draw. Oh, it's down here, yeah. Yeah, so I basically set these and transform them every frame. It's not the end of the world. But I suppose I probably could do better. In fact, do I want to get into thinking about this way just now? Because I could do better. There's another, like, one moment. There's another enormous thing I'm doing kind of every frame, which sort of needs done every frame, but sort of doesn't. Which is this. Corner set to vertices is a way of querying the corner set class and getting an instance of, well, filling an instance of the vertex class, the vertices class, with a set of vertices based on this, any position that you pass into the corner set to vertices. And this just transforms them. And then this takes those vertices, those transformed vertices, and updates that entire curve every frame. Now I don't have a problem with doing that. It's clearly not the most efficient. When the curve doesn't change, I don't need to call that. That only needs to be called when the curve has changed. But it's never been top priority to change the way that works, because having the curve update in real time has been the point of the editor. It's like what I first wanted to see when I started making it was dragging the points around the editor and having it draw a few recursions of, I call it a curve, I don't know if it's a curve, the line in real time. Now, wow, it's really dodgy as well. Look, it takes these points but just updates an internal, like a global array somewhere. I could be passing it an array if I was fussed about instantiating something, which I clearly was. This was written just a couple of months ago, and I even look at it and go, well, a couple of months, 6 weeks maybe. And I look at it and go, well, could have done better. Or should probably be better. Anyway. This draws it. 1 second though. Oh yeah, blends it up there. Now, anyway, the point of that chat is if I was more canny about when I updated the preview curve, then it would only be inside update matrix, wherever that is. It's another method up and down here somewhere, where I could say, well, the preview curve, the pre-calculated preview curve, is sitting in a known matrix, so I just have to update that. So only when you scroll or zoom. Anyway. And the point is I could do the same with a set of vertices that describe a picture frame. Rather than doing all this stuff, because the picture frame especially will change in certain circumstances. All my lighters are bad. I'm surrounded, that saying, bad workman always blames his tools. Here I am, complaining about basically everything on my desk in front of me. But I do acknowledge I'm an incompetent coder, so. Okay. What do I want to do to make this work? Yeah, like I say, that's the curve vertices are one thing. Having them move in real time was always the point. This, I suppose, is another. Like, why would I, I could have this all pre-calculated. And it could just be recalculated. That W2S, world to screen, that I'm pretty sure, yeah, this created an update matrix, world to screen and also screen to world. And then in finish draw, nothing else is done to it. It's just used. So at the end of finish draw here. Oh man. I'm just gonna look, that happened. I clicked control and now I have a job on my hand. Oh. What on earth? Oh god damn it. Okay, right. Well, where on earth was I? All the way down here. Now, obviously, this is no good. This is no good. Is that any good? Is that actually just annoying? Like, see, that's, to me, this is too bulky. I've got to do this now. Right, yeah, and it did it again. Okay. My tech is really quite seriously starting to hamper me here. So really what I need is a thing that sets the frame and a thing that sets the frame and a thing that sets that will update its position when you drag it, basically. Well, actually, those are the same things, but actually I need to update the vertices within that thing in update matrices. So, somewhere outside all this, I could make this into another class, another object. I'm not going to bother. This little thing is probably going to be divided up soon, unfortunately. Let's call something update frame. And it's going to rely straight on the project, so it doesn't need to receive anything. Oops. But what it does need to do is rely on some variables. And it's going to be the frame verts. Am I just going to say FV? I think I am, because I hate typing long things. And also there is frame vertices transformed. G vertices equals new G vertices. And this is frame verts. Goodness me. Frame transformed frames. I'm going to spell frame wrong every single time, haven't I? Okay. So inside this is definitely a fair bit smaller than it was before. Update frame. I need to I'm relying on these project frame. Let's just, I think I'll set a couple of variables. X equals project, what was it? Output X, yeah. Output X. And Y float equals output for the project output Y. Now, I might just rely on the others. I wanted to just actually remind myself what these were. Output X, Y, width, height and scale. And maybe I should just look down at the bottom of finished draw again, remind myself exactly what I did, which is, yeah, X and Y's at 0, 1 is width times scale, comma Y, yep. Well, it's the origin plus width times scale, comma Y, then yeah, X origin plus width times. Okay, so yeah, the 4 corners. But for my frame, I want more than 4 corners. I want 8. Well, I want 8 verts. So actually, I think I have to tell it that. Excuse me. I'm going to end up coughing on microphone because I am anxious to touch that microphone button. So a whole succession of things. Like if I had any amount of money, I would have replaced all these things. Anyway, what am I looking at here? And what do I want to take away from this? Is basically these. And I want more verts, but I need the width times the scale and the height times the scale. Yeah. Need to be added to the X origin. But what is the other thing that I need? It is I need to think about the number of vertices. And at the moment I am saying nothing about the number of vertices, but I can say how many, and I will in this case. 8. it's kind of nice to have my mouse wheel back, but really I don't exactly feel totally in control here. So what am I saying? I'm saying frame vert set vert 0, x, y. Here I will say local frame width float. This will mean it is going to scale with the screen, I must admit. So, God, is this the way I want to do it? Honestly, I think I do. I think it looks stranger when it doesn't scale, and it gives you I find that with the dashes in the line, and I am seriously considering making them scale or do something different. And it gives you an idea of how far in or out you are scaled in this case as well, because the screen could itself, as we see, be scaled. So unless you're keeping in your mind what the resolution of the screen is, then the size of the image can be, if the frame is proportional to the actual image, you will have an impression of how far out you are from the frame. That's my hope and my thinking. It's my rationalization, I should say. Frame width is going to equal something like 10 for now. Now I'm thinking about how I want to draw this. So I am going to draw it outside in. Let me have a quick little look at Windows Assets GUI material. That's not much use. Let me have a little look at GIMP. I'm trying to think about what pieces of graphics are available to me to draw. Well, I suppose I was going to say to draw a sort of gradient, but I can always just use the colors to draw a gradient. Okay. I've hardly got anything anyway. I used to keep little bits of gradient around for some certain circumstances, but I probably don't need it here, like I say. Right. Just thinking about more other little details of this, thinking too far ahead when I should think about this. I am going to draw it from the outside in, so every vert, if I dare use my mouse. No, I can't. Look at that. No, it's okay, don't bother. That is out of the question using that now, because my mouse wheel just does that. Okay. So I'm imagining it like a picture frame, and I want to describe the 4 sections of the frame. And I think that what I'm going to describe is the outer frame and then the inner frame. I suppose I could do... Man, oh man, it would be really nice to have a mouse that wasn't going to send my paint program crazy, but here we go. And I think I will say I'll call this x1 and y1. Call this x2 float equals x1 plus project output width times project output scale. It actually doesn't equal this, but I'll fix it in a sec. Oh no, it does, yeah, sorry. y1 plus project dot output height. Oh my god, I'm tired. Actually, I'm always like this. So project output scale. Yeah, that's what I want. So I'm going to just I'm going to do this a weird way. I'm going to stitch my way around, am I? I shouldn't try and get too clever with it. I'm just trying to think, how am I going to draw these quads? And what's going to make most sense to me? As if I can second guess it. Okay, I am going to do that though. So this starts out at the outside at the top left. So it's actually x1. Oh yeah, no, it's vert 0, comma, x1 minus, and this is not, it's going to be called fw. fw, comma, y1 minus fw. Then I want it to stitch to the inside of the top left, which is x1 comma y1. Then I want it to stitch to the inside of the top right, This is a bad idea. Really it is. Forget it, forget it, forget it. I'm gonna do inside and outside, because inside is where the actual, where it defines the actual outside of the output frame. The outside is just what defines the thing you see. And so this will be x2, y1, f, and I will just do a copy paste. What a fool I feel. I cannot use the control key. Either control key does it. Yeah, we'll just do it like this for a while. And we'll have a leisurely time. And one more. x1, y1, x2, y1. Now this is the bottom right of the inside of the frame, so it's x2, y2. This is the bottom left of the inside of the frame, so it's x1, y2. This is the top left of the outside of the frame, so it's x1 minus frame width, comma y1 minus frame width. This is the top right of the outside of the frame, so it's x2 plus frame width, comma y1 minus frame width. This is the bottom right of the outside of the frame, so it's x2 plus frame width and y2 plus frame width. And this is the bottom left of the outside of the frame, so it's x1 minus frame width, comma y2 plus frame width. So I'll just remember that. Oh, that's wrong, is it? Yeah, it's F. Well, what is the problem with all that? FV cannot be accessed without an instance. Didn't I say FV was... Oh, cannot be accessed without an instance. Right. Sorry, this should be method. Methoid. Yeah. Okay. It was CIM right here. Now, that updates the frame. Except, of course, this should also be 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Now, inside update matrix, once this is all figured out, I say world to screen, transform vertices, frame verts to frame vert transformed. find I am okay to do that. So, down here, okay, this little bit at the end I'll think about separately. Oh, craziness. That's the bit about drawing the blobs, and that will become a couple of squares, but I'll get to it. This I really just want to get rid of it all. Well, I've still got a pretty unpleasant little chunk of code. If I'm going to stick it right here, then it is unpleasant. So I suppose I will put it elsewhere. I will call draw frame, and draw frame can come out here like a draw blob. It's not called draw blob, I can't remember what it is. Draw control. Now, draw frame is going to use a couple of colours, and I'm tempted to define them with the other frame colours up here. There's something I'd kind of like to do. Oh no, I'll just do that, yeah. Output color. Well, this is kind of, look at all this stuff I use, man. Global. I'm going to have frame B color. G color equals new G color. And this is going to be something like 0.3, 0.3, 0.3, 0.3. And global frame color, because it's like it's the background color and the actual color. Color equals new G color. Oh man, now that I think about this, I realise why I was looking for that gradient shape, just to make this a little bit easier. This is going to be blue, sort of, so I'm going to say 0.0, comma 0.5, comma 1.0, comma a, well, now, I think I'm going to say something like 0.7, but I'm not quite sure I'm going to. Let me have a little look at my draw. Yeah, they're quite boring. They both just accept one color. These are really simplistic, but they're fine because it's been so easy for me to use systems like this just to draw whatever I want when I want. So in this instance, oh look, still just even my quad is boring. Boring in as much, I suppose I could just make a new quad. Could I? Dare I? Let me think about what would be going into this quad. Well, yeah, this is what I'll do as a matter of fact. Whoa, what's up with you? Oops. That'll help. I think I will do this actually, now that I'll make a function. Which is just like that, except it's like that. And it'll just be call 0, call 2, call 3, because the way I'm drawing this is so goofy. But I can tell 0, 1, 2, 3, 6, 7, 6, 7, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's actually goes 0, 1, 3, 3, 2, 3, 1, 2. Yeah. Okay, well, fine. If that's the way I'm doing it, that's the way I'm doing it. It's strange. It's like it makes much more sense. It's implied in the way that I'm sending in the verts that this quad is read top left, top right, bottom left. I've written it that way, and that's the way I've sent in the quads. And I've just, like, almost to be stubborn, drawn it the wrong way round, almost to catch myself. But anyway, so this, I think, should just be distinct from this, except it's expecting that. And I can prepare these quads, because what I want is, I'll call this frame I color for frame inner color, and global frame O color G color. And what'll it be? It's actually, what I want is something like 0.0, 0.0, 0.0, 0.0, so that the outside of the front part of the frame is drawn completely transparent. And now I will say global fcalls. Now is this a uint? It is. Uint equals new uint. See if I can remember this notation. Yet again, I'm really bad at it. So, me. I'm gonna have to spell out a lot of stuff now. Frame. Right. Here we go again. I haven't actually used these yet, so it's a lot easier for me just to go frame B call, FI call, FO call. So, the order of this, I'm imagining drawing the frame outside, like in 4 parts. Each part I'm going to draw like outside clockwise end, if that makes sense. If I was rotating the frame around in front of me and looking at each part, if I was standing in the middle of the frame and sort of turning around inside looking at each part, I'd be drawing the outside left-hand one first. So I want the colours in this little array to correspond to that. So this starts with FO call AV, and the second entry is also FO call AV. The third entry is FI call AV, and then FI call AV again. So it's the outer color, inner color, inner color. And for the other one, I'm just going to use a normal quad. So what do I want to do? I want to say G quad GUI image Okay. Now you see if I'd arranged this better. Man. All the rest of the time I must really be stitching stuff together a lot more. Okay, well, I don't have a float. I got these, and what's more, it's easy to get the verts. I could just send the actual array in this in. But this is in no order. Is it? 1, 2. Well, no, it's not. It's the array of all of them. Oh man, how tedious will it be to do x y x y x y x y? Really, really tedious, eh? I'm amazed the number of times I'm just drawing quads the rest of the time, but I realise that what I must be doing, like in G-line, I think, yeah, I'm drawing quads in G-line. I'm really not. I'm just using this again, because I don't mind using this. But when I've got to draw a bunch of them, I want to be drawing quads. And I don't want to be instantiating. And I know I'm an idiot for thinking this way, but I don't want to instantiate that. Let me just have a look at what this yeah, have a look at what this would look like. Oh, I was so close to zooming out again there. If I was to not do this, but if I x1 float, comma y1 float, comma x2 float, comma y2. I got that totally wrong. I had a feeling I did. I didn't remember pushing the y first time. y2 float, comma x3 float, comma y3 float, comma x4 float, comma y4 float. It looks awful, but I think I'm going to use it because I'm just so kind of lazy. Oh, I really thought my mouse wheel would start behaving again. Okay, so now I can do this ridiculous thing, which is f v, you know what? I've got things like getX, but I think I'm going to do a shortened version of that. I think I'm going to go into General and go to Vertices, and I'm not going to do, I'm going to just have X. And will I just, no, I will just nest this. Not, just going to code like this for a little moment. So really I'm just copying all this. I just like that better. FVX. Now, again, I'm drawing this around the outside. Yeah, drawing it outside clockwise first, working clockwise around each quad. So it's 0, comma FV. No, it's not 0, because remember I also, it's 4, because I also numbered the vertices inside then out, on the thinking that the inside is kind of more significant, and it is in a way. And then I go to 5, FVX5, comma FVY5. Then I'm going to inside top right, which is 1, fv x1, comma, fv y1, I think. Then I'm going to inside top left, which is 0, fv x0, comma, fv y0. Then I'm passing in f calls. Then I'm saying blend. Then I'm actually saying actually I'll just nix, yeah I will, nix C blend equals, is that a really wise thing to do? It is not. Yes it is. I don't care. Alpha. It really isn't a wise thing to do, I'm just doing it to be annoying in a way. So that looks super cool, that looks really neat and friendly. I'll try and get a bit closer. Yeah, and that is all there is to it, except of course I got it wrong. What's the problem? V not found course. Course. Okay. X. Remembering I can't push control anywhere, it's just going to have to be x1, y1, x2, y2. Oh my god. I'm going to do this the right way around this time. I'm so annoyed with myself. X. That should be x3. x1, y1, x3, y3, and then finally x4, y4. And this is fine. This is fine. That should be fine, I think. Oh, BM. Yeah, no, yeah, fine. And so now this is 0, 1, 2. 0, 2, 3. Okay. Now just repeat. G quad. GUI image square. Now, this is the right hand side, starting from the outside left hand end, or outside clockwise end, which is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5. FVX 5, comma FVY 5. I'd really love to be able to read that more easily. Yeah, that looks right. And then it's going to go to FVX6, comma FVY6. Then it's going to go to FVX2, FVY2, and then to FVX1, FVY1. Again, no, this is actually not sending fcalls, sorry. This is sending fb call dot av. And this is also fb call dot av c blend. That's my mouse wheel, try to force something to happen. And G quad GUI image square, comma. Now this kind of leaves off where that, this starts off where that left off, so it's FVX6, comma FVY6, comma then it's FVX 7. This is correct, yeah, so it's got the end kind of FVY7. This is the bottom part then, so it's FVX0, 1, 2, 3, comma FVY3, comma FVX2, comma FVY2, comma FB call AV C blend. One more here, G quad, GUI image, square. Okay, this one goes from FVX7, FVY7 to, oops, FV4, FVY4 to FVX0 again, FVY0 to FVX3, FVY3, FB call AV. Oh, I can't send that. What am I doing? Yeah, no, that's wrong. Because this is expecting a bloody array. So I'll just make one for it because I'm so kind of crazy. It might be that I can make use of this anyway. So I'll call this F calls, and I'll call this global FB calls. And it's going to be FB call AV, FB call AV, FB call AV, FB call AV, and that's it. And so it's FB calls, frame back colors and frame front colors, all the way back down here. FB calls. Okay. Now I basically copy that somehow. Oh, so close to pressing control there. And then this time it's just F calls. Now, what's the problem here? Type monkey types float. Oh, there's one thing. And this is blend. And I must have made another error here. What's the problem here on F calls? Why am I missing it? It'll be a point comma problem. There it is. And same here. And it'll be be something else here. But maybe not. Oh no, it's bland. Okay. Now I'm tempted just to run it. It will still look a bit cracked because it'll have little blobs for the corners. And also I will need to go to work and say mouse state, dragging, scale output. I need to update frame. And here. Oops, yeah, here and here. And actually, I will also need to call update matrix. No, I don't need to do that. All I need to do is make sure that when I update the frame, I transform it by the current matrix. Where am I? Update frame. Yeah, am I right about this? Yeah. I say world to screen, transform vertices, fv, fvt. And I think I'm going to go for that and run it. Wait. Do the debug. That has been nearly an hour just plootering around with that. Man, these things just take time. Or they take me time anyway. To think them through, to think about kind of how I want it to look and how on earth I do it. Now, let's see how this works. I expect to see a dark frame with a sort of blue graduating effect towards the inner rim or lip of the frame. Boy, it's been a long day. And honestly, I haven't uploaded today, I haven't really worked today. I don't know if I'm going to do much anyway. Well, absolutely nothing, and it is supposed to be getting drawn, so that's not an auspicious start. Not an auspicious start. Okay, where could it be? Well, let's have a little look. First off, am I calling update frame, draw frame? Yes, I'm calling draw frame. When okay, so what on earth is the problem? Y2, this and this are correct. X2, x1 plus this times this, y2, y1 plus that times that. Never be able to see it, but that is what it is. Face width is this, or frame width is this, not face width. Do all this. And then in draw frame. Oh, okay. You should be teasing here. And I will use, I should remember what this is. I want to replace FE with FET. I'm going to start here, find the next. You think that's helping me? That's just like kind of sickening. Yeah, I'm referring accidentally to the frame vertices. That's not what I want. I want to refer to the frame vertices transformed, and that will help at least. Oh me. Still nothing. It's not a way in there somewhere, hiding. It's not a way out here somewhere. It's nowhere else. Okay, well, that's not so good. Why don't I just make it easier myself? Right. Okay, well, that's the first thing. Man, I'm kind of too tired for debugging just now. Why would this be a problem? Oh, well, it's not been called first time for starters. When does it have to be called? I'm going to call it at update matrix, but I'm not honestly sure. Update matrix does use the project. Is update matrix called at the end of this? New says path called difference make path color. Okay, yeah. Me. Honestly, I'm not exactly sure. Where am I? Where am I? Work. It does only update the matrix when scrolling, am I right? Or maybe when you zoom it updates the matrix. But why, the reason I'm trying to figure out when it updates the matrix is because that will tell me when it kind of first gets set up correctly. Finish draw doesn't update the matrix, surely. It just uses the matrix from as of here. When I open the recursor, GUI setup is called. Oh, I think GUI refresh might update the matrix. But anyway, GUI setup, work zone, align sides. Nothing about updating the matrix. Oh, is there a refresh GUI though? It isn't even really a refresh GUI. I think there is a refresh GUI on open, but in refresh, well, yeah, updates the matrix. So I suppose that is what I'll do. I'll have to call this from other places as well. Oh, tricksy. Tricksy, not tricksy, it's just the way it goes. When I alter the width or height of the output frame in the render options window. Oh, beautiful, that's what I like to see. Total fantasy. Yeah, well, I can begin to see some things are almost right, yeah. The width and the height are pointed in the correct direction. I zoom in and feck around and it almost starts. Yeah. See, there's a frame there, alright. Why can't I move it? Maybe that's the outside of the frame. Man, it does look like some gradients are working. But they're drawing from in exactly the same places, so. Oh god. That's well, it's always the way. Look at this. Why? How did that all get there? Oh, it was me clicking around. Well, I'm annoyed that it's not like. Anyway, I'm annoyed about. Not annoyed. It's just the way it goes. Let's see. Draw frame. So 0. I really would love something to draw with. I can't open that. Inkscape will probably do something similar. Sure, Inkscape thinks rolling the mouse wheel continually is a bad idea. Except it's not even going to open as an Inkscape. Great, thanks. Yeah, look, there it goes. This is really bad. Here I am. This is what I'm going to do. I'm going to draw it out. The frame goes 0, 1. Okay, look, I get it, I get it, I get it. One, 2, 3. Yes. X1, Y1, X2, Y1, X2, Y2, X1, Y2. And then it goes 4, oops, 4, 5, 6, then 7. There's something very wrong with the way it transformed the vertices, though. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. X1, Y1, and then X1, Y1, X2, Y1, X2, Y2, X1, Y2, X1 plus project output width times project output scale is there. And Y2, Y1 plus project output height times project output scale. I assume that's what the end of that line says. So it's minus minus, plus minus, plus plus, minus plus. That all seems really right to me. Why are you making things more confusing? So 4, 4, 4, 5, 1, 0, 5, 6. So it's I'm reading along here and looking at the 4 quads I'm imagining drawing. So 4, 5, 1, 0 is 4, 5, 1, 0. 5, 6, 2, 1 is 5, 6, 2, 1. 6, 7, 3, 2 is 6, 7, 3, 2. 7, 4, 0, 3 is 7, 4, 0, 3. So yeah, it looks like I got the order and everything of that right, and it's just repeated here. So what went wrong? Is my G quad just a mess? It's possible. X1, Y1, X2, Y2, X3, Y3, X1, Y1, X3, Y3, X4, Y4. And the images, I think, are going... Well, are the images going to... Yes. Yes, well they are, but actually I don't know how much that matters really. Yeah, no, that is not that, but this is this. This is like this. This is like that, and this is like that. 0120223 0120223. Okay, I'm just gonna. That it was an error, but I really do not see how it would have caused that error. 123134. Yeah. And look at this. This is all wrong. Image, then straight into the numbers. Image, straight into the numbers. Numbers. X, Y, X, Y, X, Y, X, Y. All X's, all Y's, all X's, all Y's. Inside general X. Okay, well here's a problem. No, it's not. Yeah, no, that is the way it goes. X and Y is returning X and Y. Things clearly have sort of been transformed. What is the problem with this? Oh, sorry. I'm looking at it. It's gone 1 hour 10 minutes, a very long video, and it's frustrating because it should be fairly simple, and I'm obviously just too tired. But I will solve the bugs with this and have a working frame next time.